Excellent. So, there we go. That looks good. I need to punch in my slogan of the night. Awesome. That's good. That's good. I think we're good to go. Hey there, hi there, everybody. Hope you're having an excellent day here so far. I want to welcome you to the stream. Tonight is not going to be as easy and laid back a stream as streams have been in the past. I am pushing for top 150 in the second round of the Storm X Arena. She's an amazing champ, and I'm very eager to get my hands on a 5-star. So I'm going to be grinding away a little bit. But welcome you to the stream. If you're watching later on in the future on the YouTubes, thank you for finding the channel. Thanks for joining in. We're going to be gabbing a good bit, just putting up some numbers and hoping for the best. If you're really looking back from the future, then you already know how this whole grind turns out. So, spoilers, I guess. But welcome aboard, everybody. Hope you're all doing great. I want to, again, welcome you to the channel. Also, want to welcome the new subscribers to the channel. Really appreciate you guys finding me in the vast void of YouTube and being interested enough in the content I put out to subscribe and follow along. So thank you muchly and welcome aboard. But time's a wasting. Points are a burning. Let's just dive right in and go straight for it. So already I'm a wee bit behind of where I'd like to be. Approximately 10 hours into the grind. Ideally, I would be like to be or have been about 5 or 6 million points ahead of where I am currently, but honestly, it's the first day of the grind, so there's a whole lot of time left to make up that difference. So not too fussed about it. My 6 stars are still refreshing. They probably will come back online sometime after the stream here. So unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of 6-star gameplay. But in the meantime, like I said, going to be going through the 5 stars, starting from the top, from the 5R5s down to the rank 4s, 3s. May even get into some of the maxed out 4 stars. Stream here is going to be going for about anywhere between an hour, hour and a half, the usual amount. Nothing too crazy. But we'll see how it goes. So the big news for today are the official, unofficial Otrix gameplay leaks of Red Guardian, White Widow, and Platinum Pool. Platinum Pool actually seeing his stats in-game, I think is a bit more interesting than he looked otherwise with just placeholder numbers. That having been said, I'm not foaming at the mouth or chomping at the bit to get my hands on him. His prestige is average now. Looks like he's only available as a 5-star so far. And he doesn't synergize with anybody, which is pretty unfortunate. That, far and away, is the best part of Gold Pool, who's also an extremely niche champ. But I think it really comes down to how he's going to be made available in the game. If you can actually just get him outright as part of a unit bundle or what, as a reward in some short-term arena, I don't know. But I'm hoping he's a bit more available than Gold Pool was as a extraordinarily rare drop from the Gold Pooled gold crystals. Just because, I think the more people get their hands on the champ, the more fun it is and better balance the overall game has. So, we'll see. That having been said, I am undoubtedly going to get into a tirade on Diaper Man, Wolverine Weapon X at some point later on. Just because I'm already running into rank 3 versions of him in arena here. And that guy is a pain in the tuchus. And he is like a stone wall for putting up points fast, so that's annoying. He's a good champ, and the fact that he's so good really validates him as a Legends reward. That having been said, it's still pretty annoying to fight, so let's see how that plays out. Hey AC, how you doing, bud? Hope you're having a good morning. Me, myself, I'm doing pretty well. It's been a good day in-game. It's been an excellent day real life. And I'm just buckling down for a action-packed, shock-filled next 3 days, putting up an ungodly amount of points in the Storm Arena. That having been said, I hope she doesn't go nearly as high as she did first round, at about 63 mil. One of my buddies here in game, Baby Sham, wound up getting rank 149. Lucky guy. So he is the unofficial cutoff that I'm going to be shooting for. He came in, was at 63 mil, I think, so I think that's a bit overvalued for the champion, but that having been said, with everybody having more time to put up points, it's not terribly surprising, I suppose. What's that? Hey, 1,000 units is a pretty good milestone. It's a lot of scrimping and a lot of saving. Are you saving up for something in particular, or just seeing how much you can put together for 4th of July? For those of you who are newish to the game, 4th of July has some fantastic unit-based offers for those of us who save up the units in-game naturally. So we got 4 tiers, I believe. I think 1,000 units is a second tier, so I think the first one is 500 units, 1,000 units, 2,000, 3,000, something like that. So, for still plenty of time to grind out milestones in arenas, pop open some arena crystals, hope for some units. If you subscribe to the Black ISO Market, that's a fantastic place for units as well. And then they periodically have that $5 cash offer where you get like $20 worth of units. So if you're into spending money, that's not a bad option either. It's actually probably one of the best ways to spend money in the game. If, again, you're a spender. Or don't mind putting up a couple bucks into the game. Yeah, you got about 3 months, so that's totally doable. Totally doable. Between a couple of different monthly events, a whole heap ton of arenas, yeah, you're good. And good on you for being able to keep at it, too. It can be tempting sometimes, seeing the number up there and have it start burning a hole in your pocket, you know? Let's do it this way, actually. As you can tell by the splash screen, today is also the first day that the new patch was released. And overall, so far I haven't noticed any glaring bugs, which is a huge plus. A couple of quality life improvements, which I appreciate as well, and the surprise announcement that they're increasing the inventory space for Tier 4 class catalysts and Tier 2 alpha. that's extraordinarily welcome. Especially seeing as how like a rank 2 or rank 3 6-star can effectively deplete your entire inventory of any given resource. It's nice to be able to have a little bit extra saved up too, just in case you wanted to do a couple of rank ups. I know for me that's super useful because that makes my life a lot simpler. I'm still planning and still going to be doing a sizable rank up and level up event here in about 8 days time. I'm going to be taking a couple 6-stars to rank 2, possibly a 5-star to rank 5, just depending on how many more tier 5 basics I can get between now and then. And I think the biggest holdup is really when the Alliance War season rewards are going to be out. If they're out on time, then should be able to take up 1 extra. If they are delayed for whatever reason, then that's going to be most unfortunate, as I have a couple of tier 2 alpha that are going to be expiring in that time from my 6-4 push. I pulled a 6-star Old Man Logan a couple days ago from a few storm crystals. And I got it with the new patent pending shoe shine opening method, which has been revised to state that 30% of the time it works every time. It's basically a modified pet method where you just open a bunch of lower tier crystals, like premiums perhaps, get all the bad luck out of the way, getting those 2 stars, and then whatever you pull after that should have slightly better results. It has worked for me in the past. I pulled a 6-star Old Man Logan out of a couple crystals this last time. I pulled the Clairvoyant, 6-star Clairvoyant, using that method, as well as the 6-star Sunspot dupe. So, you know, tinfoil conspiracy hat theory me is like, of course, there has to be a method to the madness. And it's not just pure dumb luck. So, if you're looking for something to bolster your luck a little bit, or tired of some of the other tried and true methods, just remember, shoe shine method. 30% of the time, it's 100% effective. See, I feel like every time I say that, I should have that litany of like disclaimers that they have at the end of medicinal or drug commercials, you know. These statements have not been independently verified. Something like that, just for kicks. But yes, getting back to it, I did pull him. I did rank him up, so he's about where he needs to be and about where he's going to stay. But he definitely helps put up some arena points. I suppose, speaking of arena points, when I refresh my arena team here, just for some of the added points, the top option has a rank 3 Weapon X Diaper Man, and that's extraordinarily annoying. Just because my arena team is not really well suited to fight Diaper Man. I see people saying like, oh, well, he's not that hard to fight if you bring Warlock or Human Torch or Gilly 99. Alright, AC. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll catch you on a future stream, bud. So they say, yeah, you could use those 3 champs and he's really easy to fight. Well, he's really easy to fight with those 3 champs if you have those 3 champs. Especially if you have those 3 champs at a high enough level to use them as part of an arena team, which I do not. I don't think most people do. Cheers. It's always just really a pain in the butt to fight. So I just need to pay a bit more attention when I'm selecting opponents that I don't pick that guy. Because I ain't got time for that. It's not that he's impossible to beat. I've beaten him a number of times now with Ghost. It's not an easy fight, and if you mess up, you're as good as dead. It's just a slow fight. And when the name of the game is just putting up points as quickly as you can, that just is a huge roadblock. It's like fighting. It's like running into like a Nick Fury in the arena, right? It's not impossible to fight. If you play smart, you can beat him. It's just that you have to stop like mindlessly going through arena. Focus, pay attention so you don't get clipped, you don't get destroyed. You know, play around his unblockable, play around his special one. Get to the point where you get to the real Nick Fury and then beat him all over again. So it's doable, it's just not ideal. Especially if you're multitasking, you know? Like if you're watching Netflix or YouTube or something in the background while putting up some points, it's like you gotta stop what you're doing, pay attention, then go back. This ruins your flow a little bit, you know? Speaking of flow, I'm glad that Diaper Man is not a flow defender for Alliance War. That having been said, I full-on expect to see a bunch of Diaper Men on the debuff immune nodes, which means you can't stun the guy who goes unblockable and unstoppable constantly, and heals like there's no tomorrow. Fun champ, real fun champ. All right, so let's see when some of these start refreshing, so they won't be refreshed for an hour. Lovely. Timed that out brilliantly tonight. No matter, still got a bunch of champs to go through. And really here, every point counts, so it's all good. So again, hope you guys are all doing fun and dandy here tonight. We are about a day and a half away from whatever the Mercs for Gold event is, with the Deadpool and doubloons and this, that, and the other. So speculation abounds as to what that actually is, what it entails. Hoping they don't go too buck wild. All I know is that it's just kind of inconvenient for me, seeing as how it's at the tail end of the Storm X grind. Kind of hoping now that the champion spotlights are out and the initial gameplay leaks are out from Otrix, that people are just going to be super excited to get Red Guardian, and kind of forget about Storm X and her arena, so make my life a little bit easier. Wishful thinking, probably not. You never know. My guess is that she's probably going to wind up going for somewhere in the mid-50s. Which is still pretty high. But Supreme went for mid-50s, and I think on paper Supreme is a better champion, so we'll see. The 3 and 4 star versions of Storm went for about average. 12 million, I think, is safe for 4 star, and what was it, 2 million or whatever for a 3 star. And depending where you're at in the game, and if you've got arena boosts saved up, 2 million shouldn't be too bad if you just want the 3 star for kicks. Do a little bit of a quick shake and quake. Get punched in the face repeatedly. Brilliant. Definitely planned on doing that. And there we go. I would quake out the last bit, but if just by getting punched once pushed me over to special one, it's just faster to do it that way. I got places to go, things to see, people to fight, points to get, etc., etc. What about you guys? Are you interested in Storm X? Going for her in any of the various arenas, or not so much? Seeing about the champs for next month. I know the mutant pool is super saturated with amazing god and high demigod and yada 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 tier champs. So finding a proper place for Storm is, you know, not everybody's cup of tea. That having been said, you know, with Red Guardian coming out, seems to be an exceptional science champ. Plus he synergizes well with Sabretooth and Omega Red, which I think will make him a pretty interesting, fairly viable alliance for offensive champ. Or if nothing else, at least useful on questing. Hey there, Michael, how you doing? Yes, I've done the Abyss, and I have 100% completed it. Fun times. Fun times. I started off doing the easy path, and as I was doing the easy path, I really thought that was hyperbole. Like, this cannot be the easy path. And then I did the other 5 paths, and then indeed I realized, yes, that path is easy relative to the others. But yeah, I did it. Are you thinking about doing a run yourself? And if so, I wish you the best of luck. I think as far as any of the endgame content goes, between any of the chapters in Act 6 or even Act 6 completion, Easy Path of Abyss far and away yields the best rewards with the least time investment required. Because with a bit of planning and prep, you can nail out a Path of Abyss in an afternoon. Whereas even basic completion for Act 6 will take you a few days and a whole lot of headache. Question was Thing a big issue? No. No, it wasn't that bad. That having been said, you need to, if you're running Aegon, you need to go into that fight knowing that you're going to have to blow a good number of revives. Because the strategy for that going in is to build up about 100 hits out of the 250 that you're allotted normally. Get the 150 hits and then quit. That way at least you've got 70-80% of those hits stored up in Aegon's bank. So by the time you do that 4 or 5 times, you've got enough hits stored up where you can shrug off suicides. Aegon starts opening up a little bit. So it's a bit more of a upfront investment, but it just makes the subsequent champs just a little bit easier. Just because Aegon's already ramped up. I think Darkhawk was a lot more annoying than Thing or Infinity Man going the other way. I think Thing you have to fight once, maybe twice. Darkhawk you gotta fight 3 times, and then Infinity Man you gotta fight, I think, once. That's gonna push me over. Oh, that's so close. That's so close. Alright, come on, Fraggle Rock. Come on. Thank you. Oh, that works. I'll take that. The thing to be aware of with that is if you push Thing to a special 3 and quit as he's starting up his special animation, it still counts as him having hit you, so you don't wind up getting the hits. If you can afford having an extra free spot on your roster for a Proxima, just to give Aegon a little bit more breathing space for the first fight there, that's not a bad idea. Just know that going into it, that Proxima isn't going to be useful much past that first fight. That's what I wound up doing, but then, again, looking back, she helped for that first fight, but losing that 5th spot on the roster just for that wasn't really worth it in the long run. Cheers. I will say though, if you can afford a spot for Heimdall, Heimdall is useful for Easy Path. This Heimdall is going to save you a lot of grief for the last couple fights with Invisible Woman and the Collector. And Kerblui to Hyperion here. Just start slapping him in the face. Nick Fury is super useful as a horseman, but he's not necessary. I got through all of the paths of Abyss without a Nick Fury. I was running Aegon Doom primarily, and then Torch is useful if you don't have a Void. But with the exception of the Deadpool fight, Void more often than not is interchangeable with Torch. Torch does not need to be awakened. Like I said, for the one fight you really need Torch, you can just save up his Nova state for that one fight, so you don't need to worry about it recharging. That having been said, you can do the Deadpool fight with a rank 4 5-star Torch, and it'd still just be as easy peasy as if you were a rank 5. For the easy path, I wound up running Aegon, Proxima, Doom, and Heimdall. I think that's all 5. And Void. So there's options. I know Morningstar is pretty popular as a fairly reliable champ if you don't have Doom. I mean, you have Doom, but I'm just saying there's like other options. But yeah, for the easy paths, really just having those two are really all you need. Just someone who can mitigate, heal, and do damage over time. Because the Mordo fight is where it's gonna get you. The Mordo fight being that anytime you shrug off any of his debuffs, you just get a whole bunch of unblockable damage done to you. So Aegon is absolutely unusable for that fight because within 10 hits, even a full health Aegon is dead. I went up using Void, and it was a little bit slower just because Void isn't... He's a really solid champ, but because the health pools are so huge in Abyss, even with Fear of the Void up, he still kind of winds up hitting like a noodle. It just takes a little bit longer. I did. Question was if I used Aegon for Invisible Woman. I did. Aegon with Heimdall. Because by that point, you go in knowing that it's going to be super annoying and you're going to die a good bit. Collector as well. But the strat then becomes just dealing as much damage as you can before you die. So Heimdall is handy in that regard, so that you get slapped by Invisible Woman, get the all the Furies on Aegon, and then just launch into a volley of 1 or 2 5-hit combos. The mic on my headset just dropped off, so I'm going to need to use the backup mic on the webcam here, which also winds up picking up a lot of the environment noise. So sorry, that's going to be a bit more annoying for you guys going forward. If you can still hear me okay, just let me know. If the background ambient noise is too annoying, let me know that as well. See if I can't back out and bring it back up again. We got a Bluetooth headset that with a built-in mic, and it's really nice for just listening to music normally, but it's been doing this far too frequently where it just disconnects itself for no reason. No. No, because after the first 2 fights, Aegon's already built up well enough that you don't need to worry about losing a combo anymore. So after that, she's pretty useless. But then that's up to you for personal preference. She's a great safety net to have just in case, with Thing being Thing and throwing his unblockable specials and just the auto evade that comes with it. It's nice to have as a safety net, but
I think in the long run, it's not worth taking up that extra spot on the roster. If you've got a Reed Richards, he might be worth switching out for Proxima instead, just to boost your Doom. Or if you want to bring one of the Heimdall synergies to either regen a little bit, give yourself infinite fury, or something else, that might not be a bad option either. Or if you're fortunate enough to have a 5- and 6-star version of one of said horsemen, doubling up isn't a bad option either. Alright, so while that is going on, I'm going to see about trying to relink the I miss pre-nerf Thor. I miss him so much. Okay, so devices. Sorry, it's a bit of an experiment. I haven't tried relinking it, so we'll see. And then we're going to bring up these guys as 4 stars. Do that. That. That is lagging tremendously, so we'll turn that off. Always something, guys. Always something. We'll see. But we're moving pretty well along right here. Hope I don't get destroyed by the bleed damage. That'd be nice. Awesome. Alright, so we are moving right along. bring up the next round of 5 stars here. Cool, that still works. Wow, nice. Yeah, so then if you're planning for the easy path, that 5th spot really is going to be a synergy mule. You've already got your heal canceller, your mystic killer. Doom's going to carry you through a whole lot, and Aegon for everything else. So I think if you've got a Mr. Fantastic, he might be your best bet. He'll synergize nicely with Torch, he'll synergize nicely with Doom. May not be a bad idea. The healing you would get from Heimdall's synergy is negligible, because you're probably going to lose that heal to the block damage you're going to take, you know, trying to charge it up. If you've got a Squirrel Girl, she might not be bad for the Doom synergy either. Just prolong his shock debuff. I don't think the champion synergy is going to be overly useful for Aegon. Just because I think at least half, if not most, of the people you'll be fighting are either going to be small or medium. So it's cool. You got options. Plus, then if you've got a bunch of the 4-hour crystals saved up, that'll be super useful as well, just with the revives. Occasional pots too. Most of the fights you can get through just with a single revive, especially with Heimdall on the team, but a couple of the fights are really annoying, requiring you to heal up the whole way. I think that's mostly for some of the later paths, but not a bad idea to have these few just in case. So here, moving right along nicely through the 5-star rank 3s now. Juggling between that and the 4 stars. I don't think I'm going to want to go much below the 4-star rank 4s though, just because I don't want to tempt fate and bring up a death match. I will say this though, I think the nicest thing from the patch today definitely has to be that they fixed the rank up icons on all the champs. So now it's super obvious which champs are ready to be taken up and which champs aren't. Because before, everything was the same color, you couldn't tell. Now it's like smacking you in the face with the obvious stick, which is quite nice. Kudos to Kabam. Easy peasy. I'm not sure. I think most of the events for the new calendar wind up starting up on Wednesday. Hopefully. But then taking a closer look at the new dimensional rifts, it looks like... Well, it looks like you need to save up for that one guaranteed rift opener, whatever they're calling it, before you can open up any subsequent ones. So may not be a bad idea just to stockpile all of the dimensional rift artifacts or shards or whatever they're calling it, and just do one big massive run at the end of the month. That way you have your guaranteed path in hand, and you can still do all the subsequent paths as well, if you're interested. You need that 5-star awakening, specifically a class-specific one. That's probably your best bet. Otherwise, it may not be a bad idea just to try your luck either. Come on. Oh, I love Infinity Man. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'll take it. So have you guys noticed how, I don't know, it's interesting the way that the company approaches its character design. So for all the male MCU characters, they're fairly spot on with their counterpart, right? With the exception of Beardo, he's a bit stylized, but everybody else for the most part is fairly lock and step with the actor portraying them. And then they come out with the Black Widow this month, and while it may be a movie accurate costume, it still looks like she's the same character face model as every other female character in the game. Like she's a dead ringer for Medusa, a dead ringer for Elsa and Emma. So it kind of makes me wonder if they just start off with the base model, add a different hair, slightly different costume. Call it good enough. I would assume that that's mostly true just from a pipeline perspective, that everyone basically has the same build so as to unify the skeleton and the rig to make animating it a lot easier. But well, Michael, if you got a couple extra resources just to play around with, to test out, how the Thing fight would go from start to finish, might not be a bad idea just to try Thing with Aegon vanilla without the Proxima. Bring everybody else just in case, but then try the team out without Proxima, see how easy or not it is. If it's something you're comfortable doing, then you already got Thing down and you can keep on rolling. If you want to bring Proxima on your team, then you can back out, bring her. Just test out the waters before diving in straight away, Because the last thing you want to do is be halfway through path 1 and be like, oh wait, should have done X, should have done Y, and then you're already like 7-8 fights deep. which learned from my mistake. I did that on path 3 or 4, whichever the Green Goblin path was. And that was by far the most brutal, painful fight for me in the entire Abyss. I did not. I didn't go for her, though. I was just going for milestones. But I wanted to see what she went for first time around, just to give me a ballpark of where to shoot for second time. So, one of my buddies here, Shirmoy, wound up getting rank 149 at about 63 mil, which I think everybody agrees is high, especially for that champ. So I'm hoping that it's somewhere in the mid 50 mils for round 2, which is about where I'm shooting. Did I miss a block there, or did she just ignore me and just keep punching me anyway? That'd be annoying. But that having been said, having played around with her 3-star version as much as I have, and just figuring out what a 3-star could do without sort of her critical synergies, I'm very interested to see what a 5-star can do. If for no other reason, she's just fun to play. I like her design. Pretty utilitarian too. So, cheers. I'm also kind of hoping that everyone's just so excited with Red Guardian and White Widow that they just move on, pass on this arena. Hopefully it's a combination of the two. I don't think anyone has said yet who the first champ is going to be, have they? So I'm really hoping that Red Guardian is first. That would be really fun. Reminds me, I need to download the new PNGs as well. Because undoubtedly they're going to do an early release of somebody here shortly. If not tomorrow, then next week. Oh, match has started. Got distracted. And then we're gonna find out who the heck is Platinum Pool and how does he fit into the game and why they keep reskinning Deadpool and throwing them at us. Kind of annoying. Just But that having been said, also looking at the unofficial gameplay footage of Guardian and White Widow, they look like fun. Guardian especially. Bit too early for me to say if I'm going to be interested in going for a 5-star version of him, but for those of you who do, he at least looks like he's a solid science champ to get, so best of luck to any of you in the future, or the past, depending on when you're tuning in. also be... So today is Monday. So tomorrow they should be coming out with who the new arena champ is going to be. Since it's an off week, it should be a repeat champ. Hoping it's one of the Fantastic Four, just as, you know, we haven't seen a repeat of any of the non-Thing members for a good while. Or someone completely out of left field. I wouldn't mind if they did another arena similar to the Doctor Strange one from last year. You know, with Black Bolt or Electro or somebody. Something different. A little interesting. Someone who isn't like, here, have Diablo again, you know? But whoever it is, it'll work out great because the beta server for Act 7 is going to be out next week. And fortunately, I was lucky enough to get an invite to that, so I'm going to be looking forward to diving deep into that as soon as that comes out. And just see how brutal or silly or interesting and fun it's going to be. And fun, I'm not being sarcastic, I'm really hoping it's fun. Because if it's anything similar to what they do for Variant, probably won't be, but if it is similar to what they do for Variant, then at least it'll be a lot of fun. You bet, Michael. I wish you the best of luck. Especially once you get a fight or two into it. You start getting into a better rhythm and getting a feel for Abyss. And especially with the roster that you've got right there, I think it just sounds a lot potentially scarier, more intimidating than it actually is. From my own experience, when I did Labyrinth originally for the first path, the easy path, that was 10 times harder than the easy path for Abyss. So, not sure if that was intentional or just benefit of having, you know, the ideal champs, but you got it. You got this. I wish you the best, and I wish you good pulls at the end. So it doesn't look anywhere like there's been any art released for whatever the first crystal is going to wind up being. Whether it's Storm and Guardian or Storm and Widow. I wouldn't actually mind if they have a 5-star Black Widow arena either. In Mine Awakened. And I definitely would like her awakened. Even though they've nerfed Black Widow relative to what she used to be, getting as many SIGs on her as possible is still really good. You know, some of the gameplay videos of OG Thor maxed out are still mighty impressive. It is going to be long. Each fight is going to be anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes. So, you know, just figure on budgeting the afternoon. But it's definitely doable to do in one long sitting. But it's just like an arena grind, you know? Go for a bit, get up, stretch, get something to drink, go outside, do something else for a little bit, come back, do another set of fights. You should be boosting up, so, you know, use the boost as a good timer. Hey, it's been an hour. Hey, it's been an hour and a half. I'm good for another set. Hey, maybe I need to take a break. Keep your mind healthy, you know? Oh, also, have fun with the Captain Marvel movie fight. And that's not me being sarcastic. That probably was my favorite fight in the entire Abyss. Especially since you've got Doom. Yeah, it's so much fun. It's so silly. It's so silly. You're gonna need revives. Go into it knowing that you're gonna need revives. But it's just so silly. It's so much fun. That is the dishwasher in the background there, so my apologies for that. Fortunately, I'm not bringing the stream live to you from a sound stage. Live stream goals. But that's pretty. I think it's a good idea and a good point too, Michael, and then whoever else is looking to do a Abyss run, especially if you've done one of the Grandmaster fights. It's very similar. Grandmaster is a brilliant fight and probably one of the best choreographed fights that Kabam has put out in the game. But it's broken down the same way where you got different phases. He's about as annoying, maybe a little bit less so than the original Collector from Act 5. But just know that some stages are annoying, some stages aren't super bad. Just go in, do as much damage as you can, and knock him out. Easy game, easy life. I hope that I'm with you there. I hope that Act 7 or Book 2 Act 1, whatever they wind up calling it, I just hope it's back to relying on skill. You know, I'm really tired of champion-specific fights, like most of Act 6-2, where if you don't have X champ, you're either going to get completely drained on resources or you're going to get stonewalled. So I'm good for a challenging fight if it means I need to think and strategize, but if it's just a straight up nonsense like character or class requirement, like a BS mechanic, then that's going to be very disappointing. And that the rewards are good too. 6-1, 6-2, and 6-3 rewards really suck relative to the time that you gotta put in. Like, I'm glad they buffed 6-4 and completion rewards, because initially those were awful. And again, because it draws a good parallel between Abyss and Act 6. Abyss is faster and you get better rewards for less item usage. So I'm kind of expecting a 6-star crystal, maybe a tier 5 basic complete, and then maybe, like, if not like a 25% Nexus tier 5 class, then a random 50%, because they gotta start shifting over to a much more realistic tier 5 class catalyst schedule. Yeah, hope so. Hey Elk, hope I pronounced that right, I'm sorry if I didn't. Elk asks, who is better for most content, both Unduped, Captain Marvel movie, or Thing? For most content? Oh, that's tough. Let me just beat the loot cage here. Trying to finish off Act 5, we got the ranking materials expiring in a couple hours. That's really tough. I think now they're pretty on par because they do different things. Thing's great because he's bleed immune and shock immune, right? But a huge part of Thing's kit is his awakened ability. He's still extremely viable unduped, but once he's awakened, you really start relying on that a lot more, especially the higher sig you go, because you can start tanking bigger and bigger hits. Captain Sparkles is kind of the same way, where it's nice to have the indestructible for her sig, but it isn't necessary at all. I think the main question is if you have a Nick Fury, because if you got a Nick Fury, then Captain Marvel all the way. If not, then probably Thing. Thing first with Captain Marvel whenever you get the resources next. She's a fantastic champ. She's a real tank for a questing champ, but she kind of does need to have a Nick Fury just to prolong her usefulness. I think that's her biggest kryptonite. Yeah, Michael, but you know, who would have known when we were starting off in Act 6, way back for 6-1 in January of last year? You know, who would have thought that 6-2 would be as disgustingly slow and abysmal as it wound up being, and then 6-3 being a slog, and 6-4 finally starting to be a bit of fun. And by that point, you're already a couple chapters invested by the time of this came out. Then for my personal preference, I'd go Captain Sparkles. Excuse me. She's just too fun of a champ not to. She's got the usual cosmic poison and immunity, but if she gets knocked down and goes into her binary, then she shrugs off all of her debuffs. And then once you get the Nick Fury, then that prolongs her sustainability. So, you know, once you get her ramped up, she can be a 5-hit champ and just steamroll through everything. So, Captain Sparkles, final answer. And definitely enjoy the new rank up. You know, I never wound up testing it out just because I got my thing after I had 100% in Collector, but I wonder if having him awakened and at a decent high sig, if he's able to at least give you a bit of prolonged viability against Collector's nonsense. I'd have to say probably not, but still I wonder. You got it. I will say this though, because I know there's a bit of debate going on if bringing Heimdall to Abyss is worth taking up the 5th spot on your roster. For the easy path, he 100% is, but for the other 5 paths, maybe not as much. But I will say that once you get to the Collector, Heimdall is practically invaluable. Because one of the strategies at that point, because you're going to get clipped eventually anyway, no matter how smart you play or how safe you play or any of that, you're going to get clipped. So having the Heimdall there gives Aegon that huge burst of attack damage for a 5-hit combo set, maybe 2 if you're lucky. And that just saves you a bunch of revives and pots down the road, so I will give him that. I'm assuming it's the same way for the Act 5 collector. But again, I'm a bit rusty on him. So we're doing pretty well here on working the way down the roster. I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with how the evening's been going. I think I'm still going to wind up missing out on some of the, well, definitely the 6 stars on this stream at least. They'll be coming due in a few hours time, but won't be going that long. I'm hoping that some of the 5-star coming due again too. The start of the stream, it was about 55 minutes, so I'm hoping they start coming live again. So those guys are always good for big points. And if not, that's okay too. It'll be interesting to see which winds up coming live first. If they wind up doing Act 7, that's released officially first, or if they're going to sneak in a variant 5 in there somewhere too. Cheers. I'm kind of hoping for the variant 5 just because it's been long enough from when we got the last one that it's about time. But then also I think maybe a strategic move on Kabam's part is that they're letting people test out potential Act 7 content now while, you know, we all have a little bit more leeway in our schedules, I'll say. And then just release it later on, maybe fall, in the summer, fall, hopefully. All I know is that I still need a breather from Act 6. Kudos to the people that wound up getting Legends times. I'm not going to jump into all the drama going on with all of that. But for everybody who wound up getting that Diaper Man, congrats. Being able to grind out that kind of content and stay on point for over 10 hours is mighty impressive. Alright, so let's see where we're at for the 5 stars. Perfect. I'll take it. I guess Reed is the first one. Cool. Still haven't gotten to a death squad yet. That's much appreciated. Yes, he was. And then Ilac was as well afterwards. To his point, it took them an awful long time to vet everybody who did Abyss, and I'm glad they did. I just would have assumed that that'd be the case for all high-end content, right? But I would also assume that they do that normally anyway. That's why there's the delay and the lag in the weekly arena results and then prizes being dispersed. Because supposedly they're making sure that there weren't any bots sneaking in. Hey Shane, thanks for stopping by. I'm glad you're here. You're right in the middle of a hopefully top 150 push. So I'm glad you're here, and I'm just going to be throwing up as many points as I can, and I hope for the best. I will say that I'm cautiously optimistic. But, you know, fingers crossed. Well, that is certainly an adequate troll. But like I said, I really don't want to jump into the middle of all of that, but I will say, as far as bots go, it was really nice seeing that all of the bots in arenas got nixed a few months ago, and I wouldn't mind seeing bot accounts getting banned much more regularly. Without using boosts, I'm going to include boosts on that just because at this level, refreshing the, well, at this level, the 5-star boosts add such a negligible amount of points overall just because they're still so rare. Without units, I would say somewhere in the range of mid 50 million. So if I did absolutely nothing else between now and the end of the arena, I could get mid 50s pretty easily. But we'll see, because I also have, you know, real life obligations and real life things that I need to do and I want to do too, so we'll see. But yeah, about mid 50 mil. That's what I wound up doing for the Supreme Arena. I'm in the same family of alliances, so we're both part of the AGT family. I'm in AGT White, he's in a different alliance. So it's all the different AGTs, and there's 30 different AGT alliances, something like that. We all have a family chat online, which is nice. It's just, you know, the usual, you know, posting news, rousing each other a little bit. But everybody, like, it's one of the rules to be in there is that you got to keep it friendly. You can't rag on people. You can't troll people. Keep it family friendly, you know. But then it's cool too because they're AGT as a family of alliances keeps growing and expanding. So there's other YouTubers out there as well that are also part of the various AGT family. I know Super Gaming, he's part of AGT as well. He's not We're in different alliances as well, but we're still under the same family banner. So that's really cool. If you get a chance to check out his stream, I definitely recommend it. He's a cool guy. Tell him that RobVonShoe sent you. But then following up on the point earlier, for people who are able to dedicate all the necessary time and have, you know, a fairly deep roster, not like huge whales or whatnot who have 100 6-stars, but like, you know, the fairly average amount for a end game user. Just by juggling, you know, the 4-star teams, 5-star teams, sandbagging it a little bit, some people have been able to get up to, you know, 70 mil, so without using units. So my hat's off to them for the dedication to be able to do that. I myself would not be able to do that, to get up that high or play that long, but props to those guys who can, those guys and gals. And surfboard to the face. Yeah, but there always seems to be something going on in game. If it's not drama related to the game itself, it's nerfs or silent nerfs or bugs or glitches or something, or community this or game that, or wishlist this, or hey, why is Sentry stated to have power of 1,000 suns but he's really squishy? Why in the description of Vision Arcus does it say he's a dimensional being, but he's not tagged as a dimensional being? Is Blade really that big in the meta still that having Arcus be a dimensional being, would that just really break the game? Really? It's always something. But really though, that Arcus thing is stupid. Claim the loot. And claim the loot. Let's see. Another round of these 5s here. See if any of the other champs refresh. If not, then I may need to dive in a couple of the 6-stars. Refreshes. Just for a couple extra points. Hitting 12 mil day 1 is always nice. And there you go. Discount Silver Surfer for the win. For those of you who haven't seen and have been dying to know, the new Storm does have an interesting stun interaction with Civil War Black Panther. And I'd actually be really interested to test out Storm against Mordo as well, because I'd imagine it's the same way. In that her ability is that if her active stun winds up getting shrugged off, then she replaces it with a passive stun. So for Black Panther Civil War, you either both wind up getting stunned concurrently, or if you've got Pacify active, you can override his stun altogether. I imagine it's the same interaction with Mordo, but we'll see. Actually, you know what? See if I can't find a Mordo to duel real quick. So, going up on the Reddit forum quick. See for dual targets. See if it's even still current anymore. Maybe. Let's check that out. A player by the name of Frosty Q. Cool profile. Nope, Sunspot now. Drat. Or there was a backup of Acid Dash. What is it? 1337. There we go. Cool. Cheers. Much appreciated. I hope so too. That'd be pretty neat. Okay, so the idea here is super quick. If okay, cool. There you go. Stormax also bypasses Mordo evade. And that's without the cold snap. So that should work in either Tempest. Unless there's a ability accuracy reduction mode. I think that'd be the only catch. Cool. Learned something new today. So let's go. Nope, I want to do that one yet. Go back here and dive straight in. Mr. Mojo. Mr. Mojo Jojo. That. My anti-life field up, which is a fun, silly name. Come on. She's stunning him. Felt like that should have been a stun. No matter. We got there. There we go, Human Torch, the Mystic Killer. Love it. Love it. Melts them. Well, that didn't work out. Doesn't matter, we got him. We got there. Just took a minute. And getting punched in the face. I definitely don't recommend doing that in a competitive setting. Cheers. And here we go. Probably gonna say that this is going to be the last round for the evening, everybody. That storm ability would be fun to try out in different places too. Now that I think about it, because if we can replicate that elsewhere, especially for some of the Alliance events, it might be a lot of fun. And it seems like an ability that a lot of people are sitting on, or at least weren't at all the focus of some of the content creator videos I saw. So we'll see. But I'm definitely getting ahead of myself. I need to make sure I get her first before I can take her out for and test her out. Cool. Alrighty guys, that is going to do me for tonight. Thanks for hanging out here the last hour and a half. It's been pretty cool getting to chat with you guys and put up some points too. For those of you who are new to the channel, I'm glad you got to hang out too. It's nice meeting you, nice to get in the gab, and welcome to the channel. If I could ask you guys to subscribe to the channel. I'm starting to do a big push here, hoping to get into the content creator program, and I'm this close. So every new like and subscription helps, because that goes a long way towards that, and I very much appreciate it. We're going to be doing a few more of these live streams here the next couple of nights before the arena ends. I have a couple of videos queued up for release during the day as well, on just unrelated random Marvel Contest of Champions things, so be on the lookout for that. And yeah, I got some random stuff popping up here and there, so plenty of cool stuff coming down the pipes. So, until next time, thanks for watching. Take care, talk soon, stay safe, and be well everybody. Bye for now.